Hi, my name is Karen from Pennsylvania. I came from a very, very abusive household with alcoholic parents. At 13, I found myself pregnant. I was very afraid to tell anyone. I certainly couldn't tell my parents. One day my mother asked me if I was pregnant, and I just started crying. She then told me I was having an abortion. I just stood there. I didn't know what to say. She told me my father would kill me and the baby if he found out I was pregnant. I believed he would. My mother just went about making all the decisions as I sat quietly by and let her. I knew in my head and in my heart that I wanted this baby. I wanted someone to love me that I could love back. My mother brought me to the clinic where they discovered I was about 3 months pregnant. I got changed into my Johnny and was told to lay on the table, which was a metal, flat, cold, uncaring table. I was informed that it wasn't going to hurt. I was going to feel some pulling and that it would be uncomfortable, but not painful. They told me the machine was loud, but not to get scared. I remember looking up at the nurse at my side and she asked if I was okay. I just nodded. I was still hoping that someone would stop this from happening. Then he turned on the machine. I clenched my hands together, turned my head to stare at the wall, and just laid there. It felt as if my insides were being sucked out. They were ripping my baby out from inside of me. I wanted to cry, but didn't. I don't know why I didn't cry, I just didn't. I could feel every pull as the machine sucked my baby out. That day came and went, and I tried not to think about it. I figured if I didn't think about it, I could pretend it didn't happen. Then my oldest sister found out. She told me I should have come to her. She would have figured something out. Through teary eyes, she looked at me and said, "That was my niece or nephew." I then realized she too lost a baby to love. By age 30, I felt like my whole world was crumbling in on me. I started cutting myself to feel relief and became a binge drinker. I was hospitalized a couple of times for depression. I was on many different types of medication, and I thought I was getting better. But I figured I would never know real happiness. I was going through the motions of life without living it. I never realized the guilt and shame I was carrying around from my abortion. I thought all my problems were from growing up in the house I grew up in. Then I went to confession for the first time in well over 20 years. I knew I had to confess my abortion. I got there and started confessing everything and anything I could think of, but not my abortion. Then Father Scott looked at me and said, "Karen, God wants me to ask you about an abortion." And my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe I almost forgot. God knew I needed to get that off my chest, and He wasn't letting me leave there without doing so. Since then, I went on a retreat called Rachel's Vineyard. It was the most amazing experience I ever had. I thought I was dealing with my abortion just fine. When I went on the retreat, I discovered I never had closure with my baby. Your baby gets ripped from you. There is no goodbyes, no I love yous, no I'll miss you. That's what I got on this retreat. After 30 years of pain, people that cared and let me say goodbye to my baby with dignity. The best way I can honor my child is to tell as many people about him as possible in the hope of saving another baby from the same fate and the mother from years of pain and suffering. And that is why I am silent no more.